Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news, big news coming out of Berea this week. And Browns fans, you know this kind of update can shake up the entire division. So sit tight because what's happening with Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, and the Browns' quarterback situation could be a pivotal moment for the rest of this season, and maybe even beyond. The Browns have just announced that they're opening Watson's practice window, which means after more than a year away from the field, there's a real shot that the veteran quarterback might be back in action sooner rather than later. Cleveland fans, this is huge. It's not every day you hear about a franchise QB returning after such a serious injury, especially an Achilles tear twice. For those of you who haven't been following every twist and turn, Watson has been sidelined since last January, after undergoing surgery for his latest Achilles injury. It's been a long road back for him, and honestly, his journey has been one of the most talked about topics around the league. But now, with the Browns giving him the green light to return to practice, everything feels a bit more real. The team has 21 days to activate him to the 53-man roster, and if they don't, Watson will stay on injured reserve for the rest of this season. So naturally, all eyes are on Berea right now, waiting to see if Watson can make it back onto the field, and more importantly, how he'll look when he does. Now, Browns fans, you know how this kind of news can ripple through the locker room and the fan base. On the one side, there's excitement because Watson's presence could dramatically boost this team's chances of making a deep playoff run. On the other, there's the question of how this will affect the current quarterback situation. Shedeur Sanders, who has stepped into the starting role after Baker Gabriel was benched in Week 12, has been doing his best to hold down the fort. Sanders has been pretty clear about keeping his focus on what he can control, but we all know the ripple effects of Watson's potential return could change everything. Sanders, in particular, has been asked about Watson's comeback, and while he's been respectful and diplomatic, he's also kept his comments brief. He's not one to get caught up in speculation. Instead, he's been focusing on continuing to develop, learn from the veterans, and give the Browns their best shot each week. But behind the scenes, you can feel the buzz. How could it not be? Cleveland's quarterback room is stacked with talent and uncertainty. Sanders, Gabriel, Watson, and even Bailey Zapp from the practice squad, that's a lot of options. And let's not forget, this isn't just about who gets the start next week. It's about the future of the franchise. This season has been a roller coaster for Browns fans. After a rough start, Cleveland showed resilience and grit, especially on offense where Shedeur Sanders has shown flashes of being a real difference maker. He's got a strong arm, good mobility, and a calm presence that the team has responded well to. But the question looming over everyone is, when will Watson be ready to truly compete for a starting spot again? And if he does come back, how will he fit into this puzzle? He's a veteran, a former Pro Bowler, but coming back after such a long injury is no small feat. What's especially interesting is how Watson has taken on a leadership role even while injured. Reports say he's been a steadying presence in the meeting rooms, offering guidance to the young quarterbacks, including Sanders. Browns coach Kevin Stefanski and quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave have both praised Watson for his leadership, his veteran presence, and his ability to mentor. That's key because, at the end of the day, even if Watson isn't on the field right now, his influence is still felt. That kind of leadership in the locker room can be the difference maker in close games, especially in a division as competitive as the AFC North. And speaking of division, Cleveland's upcoming schedule is no joke. The Browns are gearing up to face the #1 overall pick, Cam Ward, and the Houston Texans this week, which promises to be a tough challenge. Sanders is eager to get back out there and prove himself, especially after a not-so-great outing last week that resulted in a loss. He's been open about his excitement to play, even as he acknowledges the tough week he had. "I'm just excited for the opportunity to go out there and play," Sanders said. "Last week's showing wasn't the best, so I'm ready to bounce back and give it my all." Sanders and Ward have a bit of a connection, having both been drafted in the same year, and Cleveland fans can't help but be curious about how that matchup will unfold. Shedeur has spoken about the respect he has for Ward and how he's looking forward to competing against him. It's a reminder that, even in a season filled with uncertainty, these young quarterbacks are building their careers and showcasing their talent on big stages. The Browns' defense will have their hands full trying to contain Ward, who's been impressive in his rookie year, and Cleveland's offense will need to do their part to keep up. But let's circle back to Watson for a moment. If he's able to return, the impact could be massive. Cleveland's offense has been solid this year, especially with Sanders leading the way, but having Watson back as a seasoned veteran with playoff experience could elevate the entire team. His ability to make plays under pressure, his leadership, and his familiarity with the team's offensive system could be exactly what Cleveland needs to push for that playoff spot and maybe even a deep run. Browns fans, we all remember how dangerous this team can be when everything clicks, and Watson's return could be the spark that reignites that playoff fire. Of course, there are still questions about timing and health. Coming back from an Achilles injury is no small feat, and the Browns will be cautious with him. They'll want to see how he looks in practice, how he moves, and how quickly he can get back to game shape. But the fact that they've opened his practice window shows they're serious about giving him this shot. And if he's ready, he'll have to earn his spot in a crowded quarterback room. Sanders has been playing well, and Gabriel has shown flashes, so Watson's return will make things even more interesting. It's a good problem for the Browns to have, but it's also going to require some tough decisions by the coaching staff. Fans, you know how important leadership is, especially in a season like this. Cleveland is known for its resilience and fighting spirit, and having Watson back, if he can get healthy and perform, could be the catalyst to turn a good season into a great one. The AFC North is tough, with teams like Baltimore and Cincinnati competing at the top, but the Browns have the talent and the drive to make their mark. All they need now is that little extra push, that spark. And perhaps that spark could come in the form of Deshaun Watson, returning to lead his team once again. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Are you excited about Watson's potential return? Do you think Sanders has what it takes to keep this team afloat until Watson is ready? Or are you already dreaming of a future where all four quarterbacks are fighting for the starting job? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Keep the faith, Browns fans. This season is far from over and the best might still be yet to come.